Okay, we're live. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us for our first roundtable discussion with Ron and Ben. My name is Ron, Large Pips, and I'm joined with Ben.
Happy to be here. Appreciate you having me, Ron.
Thanks for having us. This will probably end up being a hopefully maybe bi-weekly series that we're going to try to put together. Where we talk about trade reviews, some psychology, some up and coming specials that are happening over at Apex Trader Funding. So today we'll go over some trade reviews, and we'll talk about today's trades, and then we'll talk about the new changes that are happening over at Apex Trader Funding.
Some awesome changes happening over there.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so the first trade that we had today was. Where was it? And forgive us if there's a little bit of lag in some of our programming, because again, this is our first time out. We're trying to get all the kinks worked out, so kind of bear with us.
Yeah, I know we had some YM and RTY trades.
Okay, so we had an RTY trade at 10:46.
Potential setup B on CL.
Let me see if I can get it pulled up.
Potential TX on CL. Trapped orders with exhaustion box on CL.
There we go.
Setup B on CL.
So Ben, you want to go ahead and talk about what we're looking at here? Here's our setup bar.
Yeah, so we're looking at RTY on the 10 tick. People who aren't familiar with Apex, we use a 10 tick diagnostic bar to take all of our trades, and the chart over to your right is a 30 tick, kind of giving us a zoomed out picture of what the overall market is doing
Potential
to some
PVS
effect.
on CL.
But going back to that RTY trade, it's coming down, and it's got those two mini magnets coming off of a nice stack, and then gives us our setup bar with our four conditions that we look for in a trade. And then when that bar closes, we enter. You can see that blue diamond there at our entry point. And then we go for 10 ticks from that point.
Now on this one, I'm not really quite sure what happened, but it didn't end up closing us early, is what it looks like. So only after, looks like 6 ticks.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I take that back. Yeah, no, it did. For some reason, it closes it right at the where the cluster is on the next bar. I'm not really quite sure why, but
yeah, sometimes that I can't remember on that trade. It might have zipped pretty quick, or can you scroll back on the 10 tick? Is that actually in HD? Was it?
You want to know
Was-
here? Let me maximize the screen. Here's our
Potential
trade right here.
TBS on YM.
Gotcha. So not technically in HD, but it was close to being an HD trade. But definitely it's trending.
Potential
And if
setup
you
A,
look
setup
on
B on
that,
CL.
where's the setup bar?
Potential
That's
TX on
right here.
CL.
right there. So it comes down, it's got 822% volume where it tried to push down and break that stack, and it couldn't do it. And then reversed for a winning trade. That was a good one. Didn't take full profit, but sometimes that just happens on futures.
And the next trade we took was kind of a interesting one. We ended up taking it on a pretty heavy down trend. And that's this YM trade right here. So the market was pushing pretty heavily
Potential
down.
setup A, setup B on NQ.
And we got our signal to go long and basically got literally just 10 ticks out of it. We look at get the OP bar in there. And then as soon as we got our profit, the thing just turned around and kept on going downward.
Yeah, what I like about that trade is that dashed black line is a mini magnet on the 30, which signifies a heavier level to bounce off of. But yeah, got our scalp, and that was it. So we trade two contracts. One, and they're on a 50K account, and the first contract comes off at the scalp, and then when it goes to 10 ticks, our next contract goes to break even. So we have the potential to catch the runners, but by using the break even, we're able to protect ourselves from potentially taking that full loss.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then the other trade was right here on YM. Talk about that one, Ben, also? I have a hard time seeing because it's so far away on the other monitors. So
Gotcha.
I need to kind of.
I can see it.
Yeah, just.
So I think on this one, so that the last trade we took, I think we were in a pretty heavy simplicity short, if I remember right. Took it.
Yeah, we were. So
it was profitable.
That one was here. Let's look at it. So that was at 11:04, and then if we pull up the simplicity chart at that time frame, 11:04 was right here.
Oh yeah, so we were in a pretty strong downtrend. For those who don't know, simplicity is another tool that we use it's another trade setup that has the potential to make some big runs, and so we typically don't like to go against simplicity, but when we see a trade setup coming off of a level meeting all of our conditions, we take the trade. But that's why so we're in a simplicity short, it's going down. That's why YM was only able to retrace just a little bit on our trade and then continue down with the simplicity on NQ because it was pulling it down. But then on this next trade, so that was at 11:20. Can you pull up the simplicity chart again? I want to look at, sorry. So now, so if you look at the 11:20, NQ has ran down to the deviation, and then it's come into an I zone. That's that wide green bar down at the bottom, right at the where it says -7 deviation. Sorry, I'm pointing at the screen like everyone can see what I'm talking about. But so it comes down to that level. So NQ is hitting some
Where are you
point
looking again?
resistance.
The point right here, this 0.7?
Yeah, so NQ ran down there. It's coming up against a green I zone, which is buyer support. And then Simplicity is kind of flattening out. So it's had a big run. And now now we get a signal to go long on YM. So there's not as much downward pressure on the market because it's already made a big move. And so then on this trade, same thing. Our conditions were there. It's coming off of a level, and then we took it for another win.
Yeah, and unfortunately the runner didn't run because it got stopped out, because you can see it did retrace a little bit and then kept going. So we could have gotten more out of it, but because of where our stop was, which was right here, we got taken out right at this little diamond here. So it went a couple more ticks once it took us out at break even, and then it just kept on going before it turned around and back down again.
Yeah, they always can't just go 100 ticks in your favor. So that would be really nice.
That would be really nice, but unfortunately that doesn't
every
happen.
time. But no, it was good. Those are 3 solid trades, meeting our conditions within our trade rules. 3 and done, and then shut everything down. So
trying to see if I can get the so that's basically for our trades. And then was there anything else you wanted to cover with regards to the trade setups?
No, I think that covers those 3 trade setups pretty good. Didn't have anything on NQ that we really saw today. NQ can kind of be a tougher market to trade for sure.
On CL.
So that's why we primarily stick to YM and RTY. Not to say that we don't trade NQ, but we like YM and RTY.
So I guess that leads us to our next topic, which is to talk about the changes that is happening over at Apex Trader Funding, which there's actually, I think, a webinar on it tonight, if I'm not mistaken, that Daryl's going to be hosting.
Yeah, I think that's at 6 or 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
I think so, yeah, something like that. So basically, Apex Trader Funding, for those who don't know, is a way for basically you to trade somebody else's money. And for a small monthly fee, which now is extremely small, you could get $50,000 of trading capital for about 35 bucks. And the way that works is because they're having a monster sale until Monday of next week, which has been extended. Their Cyber Monday sale has been extended till next week, a week from yesterday, where you're getting 80% off this price right here, and then 80% off on your renewal. So every month thereafter, it stays at 80%.
Which is
phenomenal.
I mean, it's crazy.
This is kind of like the change that they're talking about. So the first 80% and then 80% recurring. And the sale goes on until December 5th. And you can get up to 20 accounts.
Which before it was only 10 accounts. And now they've upped it to trading 20, which that's a lot of accounts.
Yeah. And then one other big change that's happened, which has been kind of really nice, is that you could get qualified in only 7 days. It used to be 10, but now it's 7. So if you basically, a lot of times you qualify early, so instead of waiting, 3, 4, 5 days
Potential
trade micros
TFs
and
on
all that.
YM.
Basically, in 7 days, you can pretty much get your funded your PA, your performance account, and then you can start trading, live money.
Yeah, that's a really good change, because I've been there where you qualify and you're like, okay, well, for the next I don't know,
Track
2,
orders with
3, 4
exhaustion
days, you
box
log
on
in and
CL.
just do a little micro
Setup A,
trade
setup B on
and then
CL.
get out.
Potential elevator
So
on
their
CL.
data must show that 7 days is kind of the sweet spot. The industry standard was 10 days. But Apex is not about industry standard. They're about doing things that just blows the competition out of the water.
Right, right. And full disclosure, we do not work for Apex. We're not employed by Apex. We just happen to trade the system, and it works exceptionally well. And we wholeheartedly believe in it, and the community is great. You can also come and join me in the elite room every single morning, where I'm accompanied by Lori and Daryl, who are probably the world's greatest order prints traders on the planet. And
No doubt about that.
definitely learn a lot of things in there, that's for sure. We also get to
orders with exhaustion
see
box
some of
on
these
YM.
trades in action live.
Elevator on
we talk
YM.
about them as they're happening. So definitely can do that. But back to the funding part of it. Another nice option, well, it's pretty unbelievable, is once you get funded and it's time for a payout, it used to be that the first $10,000 you would get 100% of it before they start taking their commission, which is only 10%. So you get 90% of the profits and Apex gets 10%. And that used to be for $10,000. The first $10,000 was 100%. They just upped it to $25,000, which is just, I don't even know. When I saw the news on that, my jaw just like dropped to the floor. I don't know of anybody else that's really doing that.
Yeah, that's a big jump. And that's per account. That's like each account you have. That's not like a total payout they're doing. That's each account, which is even more incredible.
Right. And then the other thing is, like, they can get into more details with the actual payouts themselves, how soon and how much you can withdraw, and you get all that information once you get funded. Or you can actually go on to the website and look at which is right here, the apextraderfunding.com, and then go on the FAQ page, and then you can go over. This will take you to this page here, and then you can check out the payout program and everything else.
Yeah, the changes on that is you can now do 2 payouts per month. Before
Right.
it was 1, and which was fine. And then it requires less. I think it's only 10 days to qualify for your first withdrawal.
Right. Yeah, that used to be. It used to be like 25 trading days. So
yeah,
that would actually sometimes take you well beyond a month. So like almost like maybe 6 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks. But now you can actually if you get funded in the beginning of the month, you can actually get a withdrawal by the end of the month if you literally follow the timeline to a T, which is actually kind of nice.
Yeah, because they're looking for consistent traders who are there every day. They don't want like just guys who come in there and try and get the big paydays and leave. They want
right
good traders who are there with them for the long term. So,
and the nice thing about it is they give you that. I mean, they give you all the tools. They give you the funding. They give you the education, the training. I mean, we'll talk about that in another episode, about all the education that's offered. It's literally it's like a college course in trading, if you would. Wouldn't you agree, Ben? Would you think?
oh yeah, the education is hands down the best that I have found. I mean, obviously, haven't done everything trading, but I mean, the education and the community is great. So, and the people they got it around Apex with Apex Trader funding, the Apex Institute is just
Potential
is really good.
setup B on NQ.
It's really good. And they have mentor groups. Like if you get in with their education, they have mentor groups. I mean, there's tons of people in there posting charts and asking questions all hours of the day. People in there helping. I mean, that's how I learned, just asking what I thought were silly questions because I didn't know anything. You know, I mean, I knew charts and trading a little bit, but I didn't really know much, and got in these mentor groups, and
Potential TX on
there's people
YM.
in there that just are there to be helpful. So it's really good.
Yeah, for sure. And that's how it was for me as well. So, anything else, Ben?
No, I think that covers it. You know, simple trades. I mean, 3 and done. You know, and the new Apex changes, which are turning the industry on its head for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely, definitely.
All these other companies trying to play catch up, but it's good. It's good things.
So, all right, Ben. Well, it took us 21 minutes for our first show. Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad.
I'd like to thank everybody for joining us, who has joined us, and everyone who's going to watch later on. We're open to suggestions, comments. If there's topics you'd want to see discussed in future episodes, please leave the comments below. Let us know. Let us know what you think. I'd love to hear your feedback, and come and join me and Lori and Daryl, like I said, in the Elite Room every morning, Monday through Friday. We start at 9:30 Eastern, and we're there until noon Eastern. And give us a like and subscribe to the channel, and so you get notified every time that Ben and I go live. Again, thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you all next time.
Setup A on NQ.